In a world full of uncertainty, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But what if you could stop stressing over what you can't control and focus on what you can? In this video, we'll explore the Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control, a powerful strategy for gaining peace and resilience. Marcus Aurelius lived by this principle, focusing only on his responses to life's challenges. By the end, you'll learn how to distinguish between what's in your control and what's not, helping you live with more clarity and calm. If you've ever felt overwhelmed or stressed, this video will show you how to reclaim control where it matters. Keep watching. Freedom starts with what you can control. Number 1. What is the dichotomy of control in Stoicism? At the heart of Stoic philosophy is a simple but powerful idea. Some things are up to us, most things are not. This is called the dichotomy of control, and it might be the single most important Stoic teaching you'll ever learn. It's not just theory, it's a mental filter for everything life throws at you. The Stoics believed that the key to inner peace is separating the things we can control, our thoughts, our actions, our attitude, from the things we cannot, other people's opinions, external events, outcomes, even our own body at times. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, said it best. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. When we don't understand this principle, we suffer. We try to control the uncontrollable. We obsess over results, worry about what others think, and burn out trying to fix things we never had power over to begin with. But when we do understand it, when we live it, we shift. We stop wasting energy on the storm and start mastering how we sail through it. This mindset isn't passive, it's powerful. Because focusing only on what's within your control isn't about giving up. It's about taking your power back. Number 2. Why trying to control everything creates suffering? We've all been there. You plan, you push, you try to control every detail, every outcome. But what happens when things don't go as planned? Frustration, stress, disappointment. In the end, control over everything only leaves us more vulnerable to suffering. The Stoics knew this intimately. Marcus Aurelius, while ruling an empire, understood that striving to control everything external would only drain him. The more we try to control others, the future, or uncontrollable events, the more anxiety we create for ourselves. In Meditations, Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the core of the Stoic message. Trying to control things outside your mind, outside your power, is a futile exercise that leads only to inner turmoil. Why? Because life is unpredictable. People will act according to their own will. Circumstances will shift beyond our control. When we expect to shape everything to our liking, we set ourselves up for inevitable disappointment. Instead, Stoicism teaches us to focus on our internal landscape. What can we control? Our thoughts, our responses, our actions. This shift in focus doesn't mean we give up. It means we stop fighting the uncontrollable and begin mastering ourselves. When you stop trying to control everything, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. The key is to embrace what you can influence and let go of what you can't. Number 3. How Marcus Aurelius applied this in real life. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man in the Roman Empire, Yet he lived his life according to a fundamental Stoic principle. Focus only on what is within your control. His position, wealth, and influence could have easily led him to become consumed by the uncontrollable forces around him. But instead, Marcus used the dichotomy of control as a guide through the complexities of leadership and life. Despite his status, Marcus often turned inward. He wrote in Meditations, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This reminder wasn't about death, it was about perspective. It's a call to remember what we can truly control: our actions, our thoughts, and our attitudes. The rest, Marcus knew, was out of his hands. His ability to focus on what he could control is evident in the way he responded to personal and political turmoil. In times of war, betrayal, or illness, he didn't lose himself in frustration. Instead, he centered his focus on his duties and how he could act virtuously, regardless of external circumstances. Through his personal reflections, Marcus Aurelius consistently reminded himself to avoid being ruled by external events. The more he let go of trying to control everything outside of his mind, the more peace he found. This is a powerful lesson for anyone, whether you're leading an empire or navigating your own personal challenges. Number 4. How Marcus Aurelius applied this in real life. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man in the Roman Empire, yet he lived his life according to a fundamental Stoic principle. Focus only on what is within your control. His position, wealth, and influence could have easily led him to become consumed by the uncontrollable forces around him. But instead, Marcus used the dichotomy of control as a guide through the complexities of leadership and life. Despite his status, Marcus often turned inward. He wrote in Meditations, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This reminder wasn't about death, it was about perspective. It's a call to remember what we can truly control: our actions, our thoughts, and our attitudes. The rest, Marcus knew, was out of his hands. His ability to focus on what he could control is evident in the way he responded to personal and political turmoil. In times of war, betrayal, or illness, he didn't lose himself in frustration. Instead, he centered his focus on his duties and how he could act virtuously, regardless of external circumstances. Through his personal reflections, Marcus Aurelius consistently reminded himself to avoid being ruled by external events. The more he let go of trying to control everything outside of his mind, the more peace he found. This is a powerful lesson for anyone, whether you're leading an empire or navigating your own personal challenges. Number 5. What you can't control: outcomes, others, and circumstances. One of the greatest sources of stress in life comes from trying to control things that are simply beyond our grasp. The Stoics, led by Marcus Aurelius, understood this deeply and encouraged us to release our attachment to external outcomes. What you can't control, according to Stoic philosophy, are things like the actions of others, circumstances beyond your control, and the outcome of events. Whether it's the behavior of your colleagues, the economy, or the weather, there's very little in the world that's actually within your power to change. Marcus wrote, "You can't control the actions of others, but you can control your response to them." This is the crux of the Stoic attitude. Focus on your reaction, not the external event. You can't control how others behave, but you can choose how you respond to them. You can choose patience, understanding, or calmness over frustration, anger, or despair. Similarly, outcomes are often out of your hands. The outcome of a job interview, a business venture, or a personal relationship is uncertain. It's tempting to obsess over what you can't influence, but the Stoics remind us that these uncertainties are simply part of life. Trying to control them leads to unnecessary suffering. Instead, focus on the process, on doing your best, and let go of attachment to the result. Understanding what's outside of your control and embracing it can bring peace and freedom. Number 6. How this principle builds emotional resilience. The Stoic principle of focusing only on what's within our control is not just a mental strategy. It's a tool for building emotional resilience. In life, we will face loss, disappointment, frustration, and uncertainty. If we attach our sense of peace to things outside our control, we set ourselves up for suffering. But if we anchor ourselves in what we can control, our mindset, our actions, our responses, we protect our emotional well-being from the unpredictable forces around us. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily. He didn't ignore life's challenges, but he understood that emotional stability comes from within. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This idea isn't about denying pain or pretending life's difficulties don't affect us. It's about acknowledging that while we can't control external events, we can control how we react to them. When we focus on controlling our responses, we gain resilience, the ability to remain grounded even when life tests us. We stop being ruled by external circumstances and start responding with clarity and calm. This doesn't make us immune to pain or loss, but it empowers us to handle them with equanimity. Building emotional resilience through this practice means that, over time, you are less swayed by the opinions of others, the unpredictability of life, or the pressure to control outcomes. You begin to act with intention, not reaction. Number 7. Why letting go is a form of strength. We often think of strength as something that comes from holding on, clinging to goals, relationships, or even our own sense of control. But the Stoics believed that true strength is found in letting go, relinquishing the need to control what is beyond our reach. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of accepting what we cannot change. He believed that the key to emotional freedom wasn't forcing the world to bend to our will, but learning to let go of attachment to things we cannot control. He said, "Accept what is given, and you'll find peace." Letting go doesn't mean giving up or resigning yourself to passivity. It means releasing the emotional grip on things that ultimately don't serve you. It's about trusting that you can still move forward, even when you don't have complete control. In practical terms, letting go could look like accepting the actions of others without trying to change them. It could mean stopping the cycle of overthinking outcomes you have no influence over. It could be about forgiving past mistakes, releasing resentment, or not clinging to expectations that cause you unnecessary frustration. This kind of letting go is not weakness. It's an act of immense strength. It's trusting in your ability to adapt, to grow, and to act with clarity, rather than being consumed by the chaos of things you can't change. True power lies in knowing when to hold on and when to release. Number 8. Practical examples of applying the dichotomy in modern life. The Stoic dichotomy of control isn't just an abstract concept, it's a practical tool for navigating everyday life. And while the world has changed since Marcus Aurelius's time, the fundamental challenges we face remain the same. The key is to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. Here are some modern examples of how to apply this principle. Work and career. You can't control the economy or your boss's decisions, but you can control your effort, attitude, and how you approach challenges. Rather than obsessing over promotions or recognition, focus on doing your best work and responding to setbacks with resilience. Relationships. You can't control how others behave, but you can control how you respond. If a friend or partner disappoints you, choose to act with understanding or communicate your feelings calmly. You cannot change people, but you can set boundaries and maintain respect. Health. Illnesses and injuries are beyond our control, but how we care for our bodies is within our power. Focus on what you can control, eating well, exercising, and managing stress, rather than worrying about things you can't predict. Social media. You can't control other people's opinions or comments, but you can control how you respond to them. Instead of reacting emotionally, take a step back and consider how best to represent yourself or disengage peacefully. By applying the dichotomy of control to everyday situations, you learn to let go of unnecessary stress and focus your energy on actions that align with your values and goals. Number
9.
Common mistakes. When misunderstanding. This principle, the dichotomy of control, can seem straightforward, but it's easy to misinterpret and apply incorrectly. When misunderstood, it can lead to passivity, disengagement, or avoidance of responsibility. Let's address some common mistakes that arise when people apply this principle. Avoiding responsibility. Some might mistakenly think that Stoicism encourages indifference or neglecting responsibilities. The Stoic principle isn't about ignoring the world. It's about choosing where to direct your energy. You can't control others or external events, but you can still take responsibility for your actions and how you respond. Using it as an excuse for passivity. Another misstep is using the dichotomy of control as an excuse for inaction. Saying, "I can't control the outcome, so why try?" is not the Stoic way. Marcus Aurelius didn't sit back passively while Rome burned. Stoics believe in taking deliberate action within the realm of what's possible and accepting the result as it comes. Neglecting emotion. Some believe that by focusing on control, Stoics disregard their emotions entirely. This is a mistake. Stoicism doesn't suppress emotions. It aims to teach you how to manage them. You can't control how you feel, but you can control how you respond to those emotions. Confusing acceptance with apathy. Acceptance of what's beyond our control is not the same as apathy or resignation. Stoics accept life's uncertainties, not because they don't care, but because they choose to focus on what they can influence rather than waste energy on what they cannot. Understanding the dichotomy of control fully means finding balance, taking responsibility for what you can influence, while letting go of the rest. Number 10. Mastering control. The Stoic path to strength, the dichotomy of control, is more than just a Stoic concept. It's a way of living with intention, clarity, and peace. By focusing on what we can control, we free ourselves from the tyranny of uncertainty and the chaos of trying to control the uncontrollable. Marcus Aurelius perfectly captured this idea in his Meditations. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This simple yet profound message is at the heart of Stoic practice. Life will never be fully within our control. But how we respond, how we act, and how we grow, that is entirely up to us. So take a moment to reflect. What in your life are you trying to control that's beyond your reach? And what can you focus on today that you can control? When you focus on what you can influence, you not only reduce anxiety, you become more powerful. You become more present. You become more at peace. If this message resonated with you, reflect on one area of your life where you can apply the dichotomy of control. Subscribe for more Stoic wisdom and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Because in the end, true strength lies in knowing where your power lies and in living from that place.